And we're live on LinkedIn for the first time. Hello!
Hello!
This is Greg Armstrong.
Hello?
And I'm Jay Ludgrove. And this is the first episode of The Jay Show live. Ooh. Thanks for everyone who's joining us. We've been posting a lot recently, and we'll give a little time for people to join in. But there's a lot planned.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So one of the things with this platform is we had a short amount of time to get everything ready to make sure that we started this broadcast, and we've got some great guests. Great guests lined up.
Who? Like who? Who's coming up? Who have we got?
See,
well, who have
this
you
guy.
got? I am a guest.
So, great question. We've got Mike Winnett coming up, Harry Hugo, Mark Gaisford, Brian Burns, Ian Barkin, and that's basically just a few people.
Knocking him out the park.
What's great, we're going to be doing these every 2 weeks.
Yep.
So we're booked up until like March.
Yeah.
There's loads of bits to come.
Yeah.
So we'll dive into today. Less about us and more about what we're going to do. As it says in the link, today's live stream is all about how to create multiple pieces of content from an event like this.
Yes. So take it away. So an event like this, for example, a live podcast or any podcast or any video at all, you're not just going to put the video out on your social platform. I mean, obviously you are going to put your video out. You can still put it out on your YouTube, you can put it out on your LinkedIn. But then again, what else could you do? You can cut it down to multiple videos. You can make a podcast out of it. That podcast can become Alexa flash briefings. You can then make audiograms, videograms, and you can, across all your platforms, like Instagram, for example, you're going to want to make swipe up videos. You're going to want to make IGTV videos. It's not as simple as just putting a video out. You're missing out on so many other opportunities to utilize your content across all your platforms.
The thing is we're all so time poor.
Yeah.
The problem is when you're trying to set up a marketing plan, is it's all great and well and saying we're going to have this much video or we're going to have this much design. The hardest bit is like creating that content or having it done for you. So if we're all so time poor, setting up an event like this or utilizing an event which is already happening in your social calendar can be so like incredibly powerful. Really, really can be, because it means you're already probably spending to go to an event, or you're spending your time at very least. Why not be able to utilize that in multiple forms?
And you know when you've got an event coming up. You know, events like this just don't fall in your lap on the day. you know you've got an event coming up, so you can plan ahead for an event and know in advance what you need to get to make these pieces of content.
So a little bit of thoughts around what that can be. Everyone's like, sure, what event? Not just like a stream like this, but also any event. So for instance, if you're at a conference, lots of times when you're at a conference, there's a number of industry experts which would be brilliant to have talking about your product or your service. Why not call them beforehand, book meetings for them? Or if it's your conference, maybe you've sent down 3 or 4 people who are usually all over the country, all over the world, and aren't necessarily all in one place at one time.
And it might not just be a booth you're at. You might have someone speaking at this event, or you might be speaking yourself, or you know someone you want to catch speaking.
The obvious thing to do is the stream or record the speech. Great.
Yes.
So we've got that. And that's kind of traditional way capturing content of something like this. And that's great. And you should have that. But having that one long form piece of content like we are now, and knowing that it's 15 minutes or 20 minutes that we're going to be doing this for, means that we can plan out other pieces of content to come off the back of it. So you don't just have that speech. You could also then take out 3 or 4 quotes, short 1 minute, 30-second quotes from the speech 4 or 5 times. That means when you have when you've released your whole big speech, and that's the thing on YouTube that you're trying to push back on, you can then promote that on all of your social media channels with just a little snippet to try and drag people in.
Yeah, almost not really a trailer, but a little breadcrumb to entice them in.
Yeah, a trailer, but exactly that. It's exactly why trailers are made. And I think people seem to think that this is a new concept. It's a new concept for us to take one piece of content and cut it up into lots of smaller vignettes and smaller bits to use across your entire marketing plan. But it isn't, right? It isn't at all.
It's effective, but it's not new.
It is, but adverts. If you think of any advert when you watch it on TV, lots of them feel a little bit disjointed, almost like you're missing some of the information. And that's because most adverts are filmed at a relatively long form. They're 3 minutes, they're 6 minutes. If we think like car adverts, for instance, it's a general piece that's put together. That ad is then cut into different edits for the different platforms it's going to be released
I
on.
would say using the movie analogy again is a good one, because you have the trailer, and then you have the TV spots, and then you have the radio trailers, because it's hard to, if you hear adverts for films on the radio, but you can't see it. So literally sound bites off the film, but one's enough to grab you. Or maybe I'll check that trailer out when I get home, because that was just someone shouting over the radio.
But it's not, from that one video, one advert shoot that's been made, you're walking away with multiple pieces of content, so it can be released on the platform it would work for. So when you go to the cinema, you see the longer cut of the car advert, and you're like, oh, okay,
that's
now
true.
this makes sense, and I get
That's
the
true.
rest of it and the bits that were missing.
Yeah.
But when the advert first comes out, you get a longer one. Later on, you'll just get the short version of it, because you're like, oh, I know this advert, and obviously someone's had to put together all of those cuts of different pieces of content.
Absolutely, yeah. And the social media versions as well. There are shorter versions just for Facebook or Instagram of the same advert. They're changed to be across all the platforms, most effective to fall in front of you and you react to it.
The Christmas adverts.
Oh, it's that time, isn't it?
We're already in Christmas advert season, and I've only seen one or two on actual TV, on terrestrial TV. But I think I've watched them all and seen them all online.
I've avoided the John Lewis advert this is my third year of not seeing a John Lewis Christmas advert.
At all?
Yeah, I've really gone like a ninja. It's going to get me, I think, though. I think it's going to get me this time, because I don't know, I just feel it. I'm at work a lot on YouTube. It's going to come. It's going to get me. I can feel it looking for me.
Which is a shame, because this one isn't the best.
Okay, really?
There's been better ones, better years.
I wouldn't know.
but I've seen that one advert in multiple different bits and pieces from it across all of the channels. On Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, before actually seeing it, creating hype from that one medium. But it's using a concept that's been done forever. The difference is, just like we're doing now, you can capture great content using the devices you have available to you. So because of that, you can take this model, which once upon a time was a £200,000 BMW advert, where you walk away with 20 pieces of content for all the different markets.
Don't need to go slow motion through a desert or anything like
You
that.
don't have to. You don't have to call Johnny Depp and make sure that he's got a buffalo to ride. You haven't got to get to that point. But you can do it like this on any event that you have. And what always blows me away is things like exhibitions. Lots of businesses for many years have a tradition of doing, we do that exhibition this year, we do that exhibition this year. Exhibition stands or exhibiting isn't a cheap thing.
No.
It's not a cheap thing to do. However, people will spend tens of thousands on a great stand to bring people in, but won't walk away from that exhibition with any content.
No. Nothing really useful. A couple of business cards.
Exactly. Yes, and exactly. They walk away with the ROI that they get from the event, and maybe that's great. Maybe that's tons of contacts and networking, and that's why they do the exhibition.
And I do see exhibitions where you see someone think, oh, actually, I should be getting some content while I'm here. But I'm not really thinking about it in advance. I'm like, I take a quick couple of pictures. I'll quickly walk around, grab a few photos. There's the freebies. A quick boomerang on Instagram. All right, I'm done. But it's all out there all at once and done. Forgotten about.
And they'll stand there giving it the whole great, and that's the best bit of content that they put together. But what people think about, especially when these exhibitions are year on year, is capturing a small bit of content. Again, you can capture it on your phone. You don't have to have a videographer. But just capturing content from the exhibition itself is something you could use to promote next year. And if it's something you're spending so much money on, then surely you want to make sure everyone's there. It's something your sales team can post to their clients and be like, I know you didn't make it to last year's exhibition stand. Are you available this year? Because look at all the fun we had. Look at, this is the value the event's going to give you.
This is the speech we did, example, all things like that. Yeah, loads you could be sending.
The marketing team can be doing the same thing. Don't forget, everyone's a week beforehand is check us out on stand 347. Well, you could use that, but with actual video content, which we all know gets better engagement than anything else.
100%.
It really does. I mean, you have to have it as part of a whole strategy, but video will be better. You could do, post a small minute or so of a 3 or 4 minute show reel that you've taken from last year once a week leading up to it. Again, it's got something, means your salespeople have something to revert back to. They've got, your clients are getting kind of a reminder that this show's coming
and
up.
as good as it is to have like the business approach to video at events like this, it's also a really good time to show a bit of personality to your business, your company, your brand by, first thing in the morning, loading up the car, hitting the road. Like if I have clients that are doing exhibitions, I'm always like, send me anything you can, even if it's you loading the car. Doesn't matter. It's all content. It's all relevant to the day. It's all other people seeing your journey throughout the day. And when they see you at exhibition, I saw you this morning packing your car up. You're right early.
You've immediately built a rapport.
It looks great. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. This looked like a nightmare to put together. I've been watching it. And one of the reasons people do things like exhibitions is to get that connection with your clients. Well, they could show up with half the story already written for them.
Exactly.
There's no better way to kind of be human. So exactly, I think it's a great example to show off your company for what it is. And another example where exhibitions are somewhere where all of the sales and marketing people who maybe have territories or aren't necessarily all in one place at one time could be available to create content. So if you have, say, 4 members of the company, the owner, 3 salespeople, and a marketing person, why not look to create a video each for that person? Hi, today we're on stand 347. This is what we're doing. It's been great. We've seen this. We're definitely doing this event next year. Again, it's content you could use post-show.
It's one of those rare times when everyone in your industry is going to be in the same place at the same time as well. So yeah, you might as well utilize it. And that includes within your own company. You might have staff members all in one place at one time, not just in the same office. You usually take photos of videos in. It's a whole new background, a whole new setting.
Exactly. And it could look, and it could be weeks of content.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things after exhibitions is the follow-up. You have to follow up, and you've got all the business cards, etc., and what you're putting out. So your marketing team could be posting a video every week, reminding people that they're at show and keeping that kind of momentum alive from the exhibition. Because after an exhibition's finished, everyone's like, we're done.
We're done. We're out. Yeah,
I got all my goodies and I don't care anymore.
I've got 6 bags. I'm gone.
This is it. 1,000 stress squeezy toys.
Loads of pens. But yet you still grab more when you see them. I need 6 more pens for the 8 I've got.
But after that, you don't care anymore because it's happened. Whereas your salespeople are trying to follow up from those leads. You could be posting out and reminding people about what you were talking about. So it's, again, and just another example of things that people pay for already and then don't utilize for content. But you don't need to pay for content.
No.
Don't necessarily have to go out and have something as expensive as speaking at an engagement or going to a conference. Something you can do just in the office. So, there we go. Without getting too meta on everything. But, this could just be a video, for instance. We're live right now.
Yeah.
But this could be a video that we're posting where we sit down. And we can have a list here, just like we do on Greg's little nice piece of paper.
You're ruining the magic.
Everyone's
going to know how we do it.
But you could have a list of 4 or 5 things you want to talk about. As everyone's so time poor, especially the people that you probably want to present this, the owner of the company or the sales director, marketing director, being able to work out a 2-hour window where get them together, sit down, talk, and just have a conversation about the topics. Show why you're a thought leader. Show why people want to meet you and how, everyone always says, after I met them, the relationship was great. Give them the opportunity for that straight away and work through some things which you're going to be working through for the next months to give your marketing a hand.
And when you say time poor as well, I've also had this in my calendar for the last 2 weeks or so. So I am time poor, but I know this is coming up. So I've made time to do something like this, and it is easy to do. All you need to set aside that little bit of time, and you can make content that's going to last you a lot longer than it took you to actually make it. Reusing it going onwards.
Well, to use that as an example, one of the podcasts that we launched had an interview with Gary V.
Yeah.
So Phil Treadwell, the mortgage marketing expert. If you're listening,
I'm aware of him.
So he gave us the opportunity to come with him as his producers and create some content. So I knew I was flying to New York. I knew we had the interview. I knew I'd have some time with Phil and Dustin. So we set out a schedule of what we're going to get. Some of that was me running around New York, just getting as much B-roll as possible of cabs going past and slow-mo steam coming out of the grates. And
again, on that, what were you using to get this B-roll?
My phone.
Exactly.
My phone, and for some of it, camera that we had plugged in, which is a DJI Osmo, which is a wonderful piece of kit because you can basically shoot in 4K and facial recognition, whole bunch of stuff. Check it out.
Because B-roll's such a professional word, I guess, that you kind of forget that you can just film it on your phone.
And what that gives is your editors actually something else to cut to help build a story. But
makes it so much more interesting visually to watch.
You don't have to hope that someone finishes a sentence and says something smart. You can cut before they babble too much and move on to something else and tie it all in. So we've walked away with that with tons of content.
Oh yeah, we sat down before you went to New York and was like, right, what do we need? I was like, we need you in the airport.
Yeah.
We need you going through the airport. We need you on the plane. We need you going through New York. We need you seeing some of the landmarks. We need you talking about what's happening during the day. Get up the Empire State Building. Like we had all these things we wanted you to hit while you were there. So we had content to use going forward.
And we covered ourselves like Boy Scouts, right? We covered ourselves because, for instance, Greg just mentioned the Empire State Building. I went up, I filmed a ton of stuff on the way up. Great, all having good fun. When I got up to the top, I did some vlog style videos and it was snowing and you can't hear a thing. It's just me. Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But we did get some good shots just of New York as a whole, which are being used for the vlog. So we kind of covered ourselves that knowing we're going to walk away with 8 to 10 pieces of content for us, plus content for the podcaster that Phil that we're working with and the show and actual interviews with both him and Dustin. So we're walking away with 10 or 15 pieces of content from what was essentially a 3-day trip.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah. And it was busy. Like you say, 3-day trip to New York, it is tight.
It is.
And you did have stuff to do. You weren't just there to sit around doing this. No. You had other stuff to be doing.
But what was great about having 3 days, it makes you as bold as brass. So, it's awkward sat on a plane to start filming yourself because you're filming other people.
Because that's what holds a lot of people back.
Yeah.
Like I can be one of those people. Oh, I film myself on the way there on the train, on the station. And I get there, I'm like, oh, I feel a bit silly now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, so I'm just taking a selfie. But no, you in the setting, you had to utilize that.
Had to utilize it. And the same thing about kind of any performance ever. If you're a musician, you have to own it and be 10 times as confident as maybe you are or
That's
you
a good
aren't.
way to look at it.
Because if you don't go for it, it doesn't come across. You have to ramp it up to number 11. And same thing, I had to just kind of be like, no, it's awkward, but whatever. Snap, 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 do some video. And now watching the vlog back, those shots are brilliant.
Yeah.
Like those shots have really, really made it. But also those videos, when you are confident, they're gonna get better engagement because don't be shy of releasing content. It's what people should be doing. If people are laughing at you going past, it doesn't matter, right? They don't know what you're going to do with this content and how beneficial it's going to be overall.
They'll be sat there in a couple of weeks liking it on LinkedIn anyway, so it's fine.
So here's a breakdown basically of what we're going to do from this event moving forward. Straight up exactly what we're going to do. So this recording of this live event is going to be released on YouTube in its entirety.
Yeah.
We're then going to take the audio from the entire show and create a podcast. And there'll probably be some editing there where ums and ers and mouth noises are removed. So then we have the YouTube and the podcast.
Yes.
After the fact, we're going to look through the YouTube and pull out some key points that we can create small vignette videos, say 2 or 3 of those after the fact. So we now have YouTube video, long form. We have small 1-minute vignettes, which can be used on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah. Probably multiples of those as well.
Exactly. So quite a few of those. We're then going to essentially write a blog based upon the long form show, all of it. So we'll have actually a written piece of content. And that means then we have like a watch, read, listen approach to every piece of content. And then smaller snippets of that watch, read, listen is then posted across social over a plan, probably a period of about 2 months, where we're referring back to either the main show or the podcast or trying to bring people into that funnel. What that does is it just gives, so Greg runs our digital marketing and it gives them the ammunition they need.
Yeah, you're kind of hitting multiple points to be seen and found as well. You're not just putting it, because not everyone's going to find you just on LinkedIn or just on YouTube. You need to be kind of everywhere people are looking, so you're kind of always in their peripheral,
And then be consistent as well. Just because someone will find you on LinkedIn doesn't mean they'll see if you post the once.
Yeah, content has a short lifespan, so you need to be consistent with it.
You need to catch people when they're on the platforms. You need to keep posting that out. So if you can walk away with these snippets, then you're going to be pushing it back. What it means for Greg's team when the creative producers are actually putting this content together, it means that they come into next month saying, oh, okay, I was looking to post 40 times across 3 channels for this, for GL Pro, but actually 16 of the posts are done because we've got a podcast and YouTube and the snippet and the blog and the social media post. And because of that, it means we can then be more reactive.
It fills up your marketing or content plan, whichever you call it. It fills up your plan nicely. It's less work for you really in the long run. When you sit down, you have to start thinking about posts from scratch.
Yeah, exactly. And it means you can start to see the bigger picture. So to recap, find an event,
Yeah.
make an event, right? If you have to sit down and record and this be the event,
Yeah,
then do
this
it.
is an event. Yeah.
Exactly. But do anything you can beforehand, plan beforehand how you can walk away with, I'll tell you what, 5 pieces, right? Just find 5 things you could pull out of one thing. And you know you're going to actually get a better ROI of spending your time like this. So next week on Thursday, we're going to be live with Mike Winnett. Check us out then. We'll be posting, of course, a lot between now and then, so you can catch us there. In the meantime, I've been Jay.
I've been Greg.
And this was the Jay Lee Show Live.
Thanks for watching.